Hello and welcome to this overview video, Growing Your Business Using Live Streaming Technology. Now, we are going to be discussing in this course, and in this video in particular, the live streaming applications and websites. And basically, these are ways that individuals and groups can literally broadcast events live using internet video. And when we talk about an event or we talk about something that's happening, anything can really constitute an event. We could be talking about a normal conversation that someone is having with another entrepreneur or to someone who is a customer. We could be talking about a conference that you are having an experience or someone else is literally participating in. Or we could be talking about instruction that you're conducting from your home or your office to other customers or even other employees. Anything that you could deem happening that would be of importance to someone else to see, that constitutes an event. And this is important because you've probably noticed that streaming broadcasts over the internet are not exactly new. We've been seeing them over the last couple of years, ever since internet video has really been popular. And you've seen them using Google Hangouts. So you might have seen people who are using Google Hangouts in order to talk about, in order to have broadcasts of their conversations, about what. Now, you've seen them as people have used Google Hangouts, and Google Hangouts has probably been the most popular live streaming application that both entrepreneurs and people who want to connect with others have been using so that, again, they can broadcast something that they felt is important. Typically, what has been broadcast on Google Hangouts has been conversations and has been discussion. However, the same technology has been used by various entrepreneurs and entertainers in order to broadcast live entertainment events. The other thing, in the very same way, Ustream.tv has been used by, again, various people using the internet in order to get their message across or to show something that's happening, literally while it's happening. YouNow is another site, as is Livestream.com. All of these technologies have been used to broadcast, to take what's happening live, literally just as you see on a television or as you might see on a radio broadcast. Maybe you might not see it, but you'd hear it. These events would be broadcast live over the internet. And then there was also Spreecast, and Spreecast was primarily used by entrepreneurs and people within the business opportunity niche, that they would use this medium in order to reach ordinary people, in order to give them instruction, in order to allow them to give feedback, in order to allow them to talk back to the person that was actually doing the discussion. It was a great way for people to be able to, again, take what's happening in their locale and to be able to show it to people while it's happening, not just broadcasting what's on their screen, but literally what's happening in their environment. Now, this is important now because people are now using their mobile device in every area of their life, and internet connections have improved drastically each and every year, probably since the mid-2000s. And because of that, live streaming now has taken on a new meaning. Before, when you wanted to do previously, if you wanted to do live streaming, you had to have camera equipment, you had to have a pretty powerful laptop, you had to have cable sometimes, you had to have a pretty robust internet connection, and this really limited the number of people who could take an event and show it to someone live, because it really did take quite a bit of technical expertise. It took quite a few technical details to be in place in order to make this happen, and the average person could not put together a live stream without a lot of instruction. But now, live streaming is now taking place in the mobile app environment. And now it's extremely easy for anyone with average technological skills to take advantage of it. Really and truly, if a person can take their mobile device, they can tap on the screen a couple of times, they can be live streaming what's happening in their locale to anyone who has either a computer or a mobile device or might be internet connected. And this is important to entrepreneurs. Any entrepreneur now can take this technology and use it to their advantage to grow their business. It's almost like having your own television station, except better, because people can be anywhere at any time. They don't have to necessarily be in front of a stationary screen in order to experience what it is you have. Now, we'll be discussing 3 of the most popular and important mobile applications in the live streaming space. We'll be talking about Blab FM, and Blab FM actually extends even outside the mobile app environment onto the desktop environment. And basically, Blab FM is a group-based live streaming application, and that's what we'll be talking about in this course. We'll also be talking about Meerkat, and Meerkat has the distinction of being the first very popular live streaming application that was used by both celebrities, by social media experts, and by people who really wanted to reach an audience and wanted to be able to broadcast on a regular basis. And it probably has the most and deepest roots among people when you start talking about their familiarity with how this application works and how this kind of technology works. But certainly the most popular of all of them now is Periscope. And Periscope is really unique among live streaming applications because it's tied to Twitter, and everything that Periscope does, everything that a person can do and does do on Periscope is uniquely tied and integrated to Twitter, and it makes it a dynamic one because everything that you do, you're literally broadcasting on social media as it happens. And we'll be touching on the unique elements of each platform. And we'll be talking about ways that you can leverage each platform in order to grow your business. And we'll also be talking about basically what are the best practices? What are the experts doing? What are the things that people are doing in order to take these technologies and use them in order to get more customers, to grow their following, to grow their brand? What are people doing in order to do more and better business? And then, of course, we're going to take that general concept, and we're going to be talking about some very specific methods on how to turn that platform, the live streaming platform, into profit for an entrepreneur's business. And this is probably what's most important to those who are watching this video and or presentation. So with that, thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be discussing reasons that individuals and businesses actually participate in live streaming activity. And you don't want to start a new campaign, or you don't want to start using live streaming technology without understanding why it's important and what it can actually do for you. Now, we're going to get into some specific strategy in other videos. We want to start talking about right now, what are people using live streaming to do? And people who are surveyed and businesses that are being surveyed use live streaming to engage their audience and their following. So in other words, they already have people who are listening to them. They already have people who are reading what they write. They already have people who are attending their events, but they want to be able to have those people give them feedback. And so they want to be able, in a live setting, to be able to ask questions and then to get the actual feedback as it's happening. So that's one reason why people and individuals are using live streaming. Another one is for people to meet other people in their niche. So in other words, live streaming allows you to both interview people, it allows you to reach out to people, it actually allows you, because of the medium of broadcasting, it allows you access to people that are willing to talk to you because they're getting more publicity, because they're being broadcast, they're willing to have conversation with you that maybe they might not be able to do otherwise. So it really does allow you to meet other people in your niche. Kind of a sister to that is that you might be able to collaborate with people in your niche. So a live streaming application allows you to team up with someone and to be able to literally, with your conversation with that individual, not only create content, but also give people answers about things that they are actually looking for, have questions about, problems that they want to overcome, goals that they want to achieve. And you are able to get the people who have the knowledge that maybe you have a gap in that knowledge. Maybe you don't have that specific answer to something a question that someone in your community has. You're able to find someone else in your niche. And with the beauty of live streaming, you are able to, with your conversation, provide that answer to other people in your community. So live streaming really does allow you to participate by collaborating with other people. And of course, it allows you to build relationships with customers. And the engagement process really does give the customer the sense that they are important. It gives them the opportunity to give you feedback on things that should be going into your products and services, maybe things that you're not doing as well as you could. It allows you to have relationships with prospects who will tell you what their objections are about what it is that you're about to try to sell. Maybe you don't exactly know why people are not buying. Being able to live stream in a live environment, you get live feedback as it is happening from someone who is watching what you're demonstrating, watching what you're talking about, and then telling you what it is you need to do to make it sellable. And you're able to build relationships with influencers. And this is very important because you want to be able to take someone who really does have the have influence among other people in your niche, someone who everyone is listening to. And for you to be able to broadcast a conversation with that person allows you to be able to, in some ways, it allows you to be able to extract or to be able to allow some of that influence to rub off on you while you're doing interviews and while you're doing conversations and while you're doing collaborations. And one of the most important things that people are using live streaming for is to get attention to their brand. And by taking, opportunities to show people behind the scenes and to take them inside their operations really does allow people to connect with you on a deeper level. And it allows you to do something with people that's more natural. It really does give you more attention to what it is that you are trying to do with your brand. And of course, because of the live streaming nature, because of the live aspect of it, it allows you to give an entertainment factor. What it does is it allows people to see you as you are. It allows people to see you when you're not so scripted, when you are having normal conversations. And often this is more engaging to some people than some of the things that we do that are scripted as entrepreneurs. And some business people and some entertainers, they just like to interact on social media. It allows people to really have a meaningful conversation with people they don't know. In some cases, it allows people to know them. Social media is an attraction for certain individuals, and they just like to be there, and this is their attraction to live streaming. And of course, people like to learn from others. And this really kind of goes back to meeting and collaborating with people in the niche. It allows you then to learn from them. This is one of the ways that people are reporting that they are really gaining from live streaming is by sitting down and having conversation with them in a live environment. It allows them to actually learn. And then people are doing this because they like to follow and find out about other people. So not everyone who is live streaming likes to necessarily broadcast. Some people like to watch live streams because they want to find out about what other people are doing. They want to find out what's going on behind the scenes. They want to find out what goes into a product or service. They want to find out what goes into an event. They want to find out those things that previously, not only was it impossible to really tell, but it was impossible to really talk about while it was actually happening. And so this really does give people a new glimpse of businesses, of entrepreneurs, of people who are in the know. And of course, lastly, businesses, entrepreneurs, they typically want to increase their profits. And so live streaming allows them to not only make more connections with customers on a deeper level, but allows those customers to, again, engage in a way to give them the sense that they know the person. Maybe it brings up their likability, brings up the trust factor, all of those things that make the buying process easier for individuals when they, depending on how and what they want to spend. It really allows them to get to know the people who are behind the product or service, and then they're more willing to buy. So these are the reasons why people report that they participate in live streaming, whether or not they're doing the live streaming or whether or not they are just watching and experiencing the live stream. Again, this is a very important application of internet technology because anyone, anywhere can broadcast. anyone, anywhere can watch a broadcast. And those two factors really allow for businesses to really connect with people in real time. And this is valuable information. This is a valuable way for businesses to be able to get their message across to the right person at the right time. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. You are now looking at the live streaming app Meerkat, and that is what we will be discussing in this video. Now, Meerkat is a live streaming mobile application, and it's available on the Android and the iOS or Apple platform. Now, with Meerkat, individuals are able to watch streams from their desktop computer, but they aren't able to participate, so they can't necessarily stream out or talk back to the people with whom they're watching the streams with. Now, the app itself was released in early 2015, and its popularity grew fast, very fast, due to the number of business icons and celebrities using the application. Now, Meerkat is unique to the live streaming world due to the fact that it uses what's called a leaderboard. So the individuals that are really using Meerkat, the individuals that are really engaging, individuals that really have people coming to their streams, they will make what's called the leaderboard, where Meerkat really scores people and allows them to see their influence and how they're using the application. Now, according to the most frequent users, Meerkat is one of the applications that, in terms of live streaming, is really good for building a community, and that community really exists among the Meerkat users. So it doesn't necessarily extend outside of that community, but among Meerkat users, the feel is to have people who understand the app and who actually interact on the app. Now, most of this use takes place from those who actually make the leaderboard, and that is reasonable. So the people who really have the communities, the vibrant communities on Meerkat, who really understand how it's used, are the people who routinely make the leaderboard. Now, because of that, and because the users are pretty dedicated following on Meerkat, and that the feel of it is for people to be inside of a community among people in the app, there aren't as many random or spontaneous conversations that take place on Meerkat as they do on other live streaming applications. Now, in mid-2015, a lot of celebrities began to move away from Meerkat due to the fact that Twitter blocked access to their social graph. And that was really because they had planned to buy the live streaming app Periscope, which we'll be talking about in this course. Now, what that means is that Meerkat users have to build their following manually. So they don't have an activity that they can generate lots of followers based on their activity. So people who find Meerkat streams and people who find people doing things on Meerkat, they really happen because the Meerkat user is good at getting the word out to the people that they want to come to the stream. Now, at this time, Meerkat has not really embraced any plans for paid advertising, but if it goes the way of most social media applications, eventually they will have ways to monetize their streams and to be able to give advertisers access to their user base. And to start Meerkat, you do need to have a Twitter account in order to verify who you are, in order to get started on the application. And individuals can start and announce their stream through Twitter, even though they do have blocked access to the social graph, which makes it easier for people to find you. Now, Meerkat does offer individuals watching the stream the opportunity to voice their appreciation with the presenter, and they do that by being able to tap the screen and show that they like what's actually happening in the stream while it's happening live. And Meerkat users can save their live stream and archive them using the application Catch. And for the most part, there is no real way to really save lots of broadcasts on Meerkat. It goes away after 24 hours. So you're going to need to save your stream to a place, and typically users will use the application Catch. Now, like many of the live streaming applications, you're going to have to announce your stream to other people, and you're not going to necessarily be able to do that on the app with people outside of the application. That means that the people who actually come to your streams, if you're going to use only the application to promote, there are going to be people who are going to be on the app, and that really is reasonable. And so Meerkat is really going to depend on your ability and the ability of the user to be able to promote your live stream. So that means you're going to have to be able to make yourself available on social media. You're going to have to make yourself available on a website. You're going to have to make yourself available through podcast or in other places where Meerkat users actually get traffic. You're going to have to be good about making sure that that stream, or at least it's known about in all of the places where people hang out online. And in this way, really, Meerkat is like any other live streaming technology. The user does have to have a plan in promoting. And so there are lots of great ways and lots of great guides on how to promote your stream. And there's actually one listed with this course. It's an article that you'll be able to actually read and determine how you can start driving people to get access to your stream or the information in it. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in the next video. You are now looking at the live streaming app Periscope, and that is what we will be talking about in this video. Now, Periscope is like any other live streaming application. It allows anyone with a mobile application to go live and to literally stream or to show what's happening in their locale and deem it as an event. Now, Periscope is available on the iOS and the Android platform, and you're typically going to have a more modern or updated edition of the software that run those two platforms. Now, Periscope, like Meerkat, is very closely tied to the use of Twitter. And unlike Meerkat, Periscope, which was bought by Twitter, obviously has full use of its social graph, where Periscope does not. And Periscope, like other live streaming applications, it's very easy to log in and intuitive to use so that the average person can get started with Periscope and within 5 to 10 minutes can be streaming a live application to people, whether they're on their mobile device or whether they're watching from their desktop computer. Now, when users sign in to Periscope, they can either watch a broadcast or send a broadcast. And although they can't participate in a live broadcast, users can find a number of websites available where they can watch Periscope streams from their desktop computer. So even though they can't compete or they can't participate, they can actually watch streams as they happen. Now, since Periscope is very closely aligned to Twitter, it's very easy to use the app to find all of those on Periscope that you were previously connected to on Twitter. In fact, using that social graph, it allows other people to find you as well as to allow you to find other people that you might have similar interests with. Now, Periscope is an app where the users cannot interact or talk back to the person doing the stream with their voice or video. They can communicate with them by letting them know that they appreciate what they're doing by giving that person hearts on their screen. And it's like a Facebook like, in that a person can very simply tell the person they appreciate what has come out of either their presentation or what they have been delivering. And of course, like everything on the app, it's very simple to give a heart. All the person has to do is literally tap the screen when they're listening. Now, Periscope users do have the ability to participate in real-time chat. So there really is a way to communicate back with the streamer so that the people can say what it is maybe they want. There is that way of being able to reach out to them and kind of give them perspective on what it is that they're presenting and maybe adjustments that they might need to make in what they're delivering. Now, Periscope broadcasts are saved on Periscope for 24 hours. And of course, after that, they go away, they're deleted, and then they can be saved to Catch.com, or they can be downloaded to your mobile device and then transferred to your PC. So if you plan on doing post-processing, you plan on uploading to YouTube, you will want to take that broadcast, bring it down to your PC, and then do the work on it that you need to do, maybe add stingers or buffers, and then put it on your YouTube channel. Now, interestingly, local marketers can enable their location and can attract other people in their local area. Now, this is something that a person can toggle on and off if you don't want to be listed in the place where you actually live, you don't have to have that on. If you do want to be listed there and you do want people to find you that are near your area, you can toggle this on. So Periscope is very flexible in that respect. Now, since Periscope is a mobile application, you're not going to necessarily be able to send people a link on Periscope so that they can find it in that platform to know that you're giving a presentation. You're probably going to have to do that outside of the platform and outside of your social network. You are now looking at the live streaming app Blab.im, and that is what we will be discussing in this video. Now, Blab is considered to be Periscope for groups. In other words, it's a live streaming application, but it's really made for those who want to converse with others and stream that conversation across the internet to those who might want to watch. It's in fact more of a way to connect with other people in conversation than it is simply a way to just broadcast as a solo presenter, although people do use Blab for that reason. They like the platform, they like the spontaneity. I'm going to get into that in this video a little bit. Twitter really does undergird all of the platforms in some way, but it really does so in a very special way with Blab. Now, these chats/blabs can hold up to 4 people together in order to have their conversations live to broadcast them to other people. Now, when there is a live broadcast in Blab, anyone can join that live broadcast, but this is moderated by the host. So if the host wants to lock their seat, if they want to keep other people from being able to join, if they want to just have the conversation to be among the 4 people, or just a regular Blab conversation that only has the people that regularly broadcast, then that moderator can keep people from coming to be a part of that conversation. Now, what separates Blab from other live streaming applications is its built-in framework for collaboration. It really allows you to be able to connect with other people so that you would be able to either collaborate on different projects, for you to be able to have discussions, for you to be able to move projects forward. There are lots of things that you'll be able to do in a face-to-face or camera-to-camera discussion that you would not be able to do apart from a medium like this. One great use of Blab is that individuals can work with other people. And this is especially true for musicians who are able to collaborate on Blab, to be able to come together in order to put together music. Now, still in beta, Blab is available on both the web and the iOS system. And it separates itself from sites like Google Hangouts or even Skype in that its connection is basically to social networks. So while there's collaboration, while there's video, while there are discussions, while there's group chatting, there is this aspect of being able to have all of these things take place inside of the news stream. So all of the conversations and all of the comments, all the important topics can go right into the news streams of both participants and those who are actually watching the Blab as it happens. Now, one key difference that Blab has is that a user can record up to 6 hours of content and make a replay available on the platform. And this is really unlike the other applications, which when you have a recording, you would actually have to have that recording deleted or moved to your mobile device or to your PC in a very short time frame. Now, users can pause the recording by clicking the pause button and leaving other content to be edited out. So this is another unique feature, so that you can literally, while you're having a live broadcast, pause it, have some dialogue, and then restart the recording so that you can edit out those things that you would not find appropriate for other people to listen to in a replay. Now, these replays can be hidden or shown on a user's profile. So you don't have to show the replays that are actually happening, that you're actually doing with other people, other collaborations, if indeed, maybe you want to keep the replay a secret. Now, another key feature using Blab, and this is whether or not you have someone in your Blab or whether or not you can actually schedule and promote a Blab in advance. And this really separates Blab from some of the other live streaming networks. Gives you the opportunity to have people come to the platform. And this is primarily based on the fact that the platform is available on the web. It's available via browser. And so Blab really does provide some interesting and some extended features that other live streaming applications don't have. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about growing your live streaming following. And since we've already talked about the different aspects of the different live streaming applications, it's now time to start moving into some of the best practices and how we can start to use these live streaming applications to build the following in order to build your business. Now, one of the things on a very practical level that you want to do whenever you're using a live streaming application is understand that, as has been said throughout each one of the live streaming applications, that you are going to have to be the one to guide the process of getting people to the stream and getting them to want to be a part of it. And one of the ways that you do that is to make sure that every stream that you do has a great title and a great theme. In fact, those of you who are familiar with marketing, you should be using copywriting elements to write your title and theme. It should be more like a headline or more like something that will entice people to want to click to become part of the live stream and watch what you have. Now, this part is a little more difficult, as you have found out with various streams. You are going to want to schedule your streams in advance so that people will know what to expect, so that people will know what time to expect to arrive there, so that people will know what they're going to be involved in. This really gives people appointment-based viewing, appointment-based attendance. And once you can do that, you will have a successful stream because people will actually be there to become part of the participation, to become part of the audience. And that's really what drives a lot of live streaming, is the participation from the actual audience. And you can't do that without really scheduling streams in advance so that people can get there. And one of the ways that you do that is to make sure that you have daily or very regular streaming. And some of the best practices really do come to having daily streams and sometimes multiple streams in a day. That might be difficult if you are a solo business person. It might be difficult if you only have a few people on your team, but it is a very important aspect of building a following, of getting people to come to expect good content and where to go and get it. And so even if you cannot stream every day or even multiple times during the day, you do want to make it very regular, almost like a regular appointment-based television. Now, when you do something, you want to try to give people the reason to come to your stream, to let them know that they're going to experience something that's a defined result, something definite, something that they're going to learn specific that they can take home, which again is going to be part of your headline. And this is really what drives a lot of the best practices of people who really have very active streams, people who are able to get people coming over and over again to their stream and get it to be rated high. One thing that successful streams do is that they discuss real results. So they talk about things that have been accomplished so that people will know that if they follow the instructions that are happening live in front of them, that they'll be able to replicate those things. They'll be able to ask the right questions. And this is really what drives attendance in live streaming. Discussion of real results. Taking in those results and then showing people literally how to get them, how to walk through the process, and being able to physically show people and literally hold up the tools or hold up the books or the instruction or whatever it is that helps you to be able to achieve those results and teach it to others. This will again increase engagement and interest in your theme. And of course, one of the things that has been talked about in this video that underlies everything has been consistency. And we talked about the fact that maybe you might not be able to stream every day, but you do want to be consistent. And really what that means is not just that you have something scheduled and that you appear on that schedule every week, but that you continue it and that people can come to expect it month after month and week after week and year after year. Again, when people know that there is an appointment and it happens, people will start to make that a priority, even if they don't start out looking at it as something that they really need to do. And being consistent really is about how often you stream and about your brand across channels. Now, you want to be consistent about your brand. Now, if you're going to stream and your niche is small business or local business, then do that across the other channels so that people can experience your content across different channels and they can pick the one that really suits them. Live streaming then allows you to draw people in, allows them to get to know you, and then people can then choose the medium that they want to experience your content and then ultimately buy your products and services. And of course, make your replays available and repurpose them. So this means taking your replays and turning them into audios, taking the audio, turning it into text, taking that text and turning it into outlines, turning those outlines into PDFs that people can easily consume on their mobile device, repurposing and making them available in the medium that people really want to experience. This is really what drives people to want to come back to your stream over and over again, because you really are helping them, and you're helping them in a way that really suits them. You are taking your stream, you are taking what it is you're delivering, and you are putting it in the way of people who really need the help that you have. And so by doing that, you are really going to increase the number of people who want the engagement that you have. This is even before you have the opportunity to be engaging and ask questions. We're talking about what makes people want to come to your stream and do it continually. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be discussing what you're going to do with your following. Once you've grown it, now you want to be able to leverage it for your business. Now, the objective in live streaming is to grow your following, and that's what we talked about in a previous video. And you use that growing following to increase loyalty to you and your business within the particular app or network that you're operating in, whether it's Blab, Periscope, or Meerkat. And a byproduct of that should be that you're going to grow your Twitter following, because each and every one of those live applications, they're tied very closely to Twitter. You're going to be talking within that stream or typing or chatting, and that activity will actually increase the amount of Twitter activity that you're going to have, and you're going to find that your Twitter activity, your Twitter following is actually going to grow as a result of that. Now, although you could grow your following using other social networks, only Twitter is tied directly to live streaming, and that means that you're going to want to consider learning how you can grow your business using Twitter. That is a byproduct of all of this activity. Your Twitter following is going to grow, and so you are going to want to be able to use Twitter to promote your business. And so as your Twitter following grows, then you want to be able to say that your customer base is growing also. Now, using streaming as a webinar platform allows you to add live education to your marketing, and it gives people the opportunity to get their questions answered in the personal medium. And this is really a way for you to be able to sell without selling. And when you're able to sell without selling, you're able to increase loyalty. You're able to increase trust. You're able to increase the number of people who understand that your business is really attempting to help them to solve their problems and to accomplish their goals. And you can also use your streaming activity for focus group testing. This is very important because you're going to be able to get a sense for what your customer wants. So you don't have to release a product blindly. You don't have to release a service blindly. You can release the things that are really going to be a benefit to your customer, at least in their mind. You'll be able to speak in their language, and being able to see and hear the things that they discuss when it comes to your product, again, before you actually release it to the market in a focus group. You will then be able to take that data and then implement it into the products and services that you have and bring it to the market in a way that's going to be more successful, because you would have heard the voice of your customer. You would have heard the voice of your typical prospect. And you would be able to do this in real time so that you could ask questions of the people in your focus group, and that your people in your focus group will be able to interact with you and to really be true beta testers, in that they will tell you what's happening while it's happening. You'll also be able to keep the customer in the loop with live support. And this is a fantastic way of really being able to establish trust. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to be there live 24/7 for all of your customers, but you can implement this by having what's comparable to certain hours that you're going to be available, or certain times of the month, or certain times of the week, and being able to use Periscope or Meerkat or Blab to do how-to videos. And this is very important for you to be able to do a literal demonstration that's not a screen share video and that's not a talking head video, but for you to be able to demonstrate live, to have your recordings, to have the people that are actually watching ask their questions. And this is a very instructive video for people, even if they're only able to watch the recording. So it's a great way of being able to engender trust and to be able to establish likability in your niche. Now, of course, as we said, you're going to need to be able to keep the recording, but you are going to benefit from having the live audience to be there. And that really is the key to being able to take these various aspects to then take your following and then to be able to leverage it. So use these things once you have a following to continue to take them into your business in order to grow it. Take the opportunity to make sure that you're educating your customers. Take the opportunity that you're engaging your customers so that they're talking to you. Taking the opportunity so that you're able to be of support, that you're able to help them with your products and services, and you are going to find your customer base growing, and you're going to find that the customers that you do have will want to stay with you. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about something specific that entrepreneurs, both online and offline, do in order to use live streaming to build their business. Now, one of the best practices we want to talk about is streaming for a product review. Now, reviewing products is one of the best ways to leverage your stream in order to build your business. And this is something that small businesses and solo entrepreneurs do extremely well, and they're doing more and more of it every day. Now, obviously, some companies are going to have physical products that they're selling. And there are a couple of things that you want to pay attention to when you are reviewing those physical products, or even if you're reviewing the physical products of others. You want to consider displaying the product. In other words, making sure that in your stream that you actually have the product and that you're actually talking about it so that people can see it. Now, in some cases, that's not going to be possible. It's not going to be of a size that you can actually show on the screen. But whenever possible, you want to display the actual product in your product review stream. The other thing is that as much as possible, you want to do a physical walkthrough, or a demonstration. So you want to take the product and literally take the customer or the viewer step by step through how it works, how it actually operates, what you have to do to get it working. Again, this review is really showing the customer what the product is and what it does and how it can benefit them. And of course, you want to make sure that you leave time once you've done that walkthrough and that demonstration for answering audience questions. This is a great way of really drawing people in, not just into what you say about your product, but actually allowing them to see what it actually does. And when possible, you want to have someone who's actually used and received real results with the product. This is very important because this is actually going to help you to overcome objections. This is actually going to help you to help people to really understand that what they're looking at is something that is real. An information product, because it's invisible, because people can't really see it, they can't really taste it, touch it, or feel it, even if they're looking at it over the screen, you want to be able to bring it to life. And one of the ways you bring it to life, even if what you have to do is, even if you've got to give a not so positive review, you bring that review to life by bringing someone who's actually received results with the product. And that's a great way to do a product review. Now, one of the things that you can do with a live stream that a lot of companies are doing is they are taking advantage of the streaming opportunity to bring in authors. And sometimes that author can be someone who is a player or an influencer in the industry or in the niche. And by having that author and allowing people to ask questions, it really does give the opportunity to the company who's doing the review the chance to really engage their population, engage their fans, engage their customers, their prospects. Not everything that you're going to do, not every stream that you're going to do when you're doing a product review is designed to sell directly. Some streams, in particular product review streams, are really designed to, again, build trust and draw in the people that are actually watching. Now, regardless of the review type, it's going to be best to make sure not to just go over the positives, and we just talked about that a second ago. You've got to make sure that you're doing this review for the benefit of the people who are watching. So make sure you make the review about them. So you really do explain how they're going to benefit and how they might not benefit if you're doing a product review. And don't be an infomercial. So your job is not always going to be to sell. Your job is going to be, again, to make sure that your customers, that your followers, that your people that are actually watching the stream, they understand that you're looking out for their best interest. Now, of course, if you can use a product, it's good to have someone who had real results. It's good to if you're the person doing the review. And that's the best kind of review to do, obviously, is for you to review a product that you have actually used. And if you can't, we've talked about this a little bit in this video, find someone who has. And of course, this goes without saying, once a review is over, make direct references to the links on your site. The only way that people will know that you want them to go to your website is to make sure that you tell them. So you must tell them, and you must do this after every product review, that it's not just an exercise in your making it good for your customers. And again, it's a great way to build trust. But again, at the end, you want to ask for the other side of the transaction, which is for people to go to your website, sign up for your newsletter, opt into your list. This is something that you're doing for their benefit, but it's also that you want them to reciprocate. And of course, always inject your own personality into review. There are going to be lots of people doing reviews, probably even doing reviews of the same product or book or service that you are reviewing. And you want to make sure that your reviews reflect you. And because people will come to your stream because they want to experience what you have to offer. So be yourself. Put your personality into the review, put the things that you like into the review, and then you will attract those people who like you and want to buy from you. You're adding in an element of trust just by doing the review and making sure that you're really out for them during that review. So if you go that next step and inject your personality, you'll be bringing in those people who not only trust you, but like you also. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be discussing methods for list building using live streaming. Now, as an entrepreneur, one of the things that is very important is that while you're streaming, that you make sure that your sign-up links are visible in your profile. You want to give your customers and prospects the opportunity, once they've heard your presentation, or whatever it is that you're discussing, they should be invited to come to your website, sign up for your newsletter, and become part of your email marketing list or whatever you're using for a customer database. And you must make your links visible to people. Otherwise, there's no way they'll even consider or even think about coming to your website. You have got to take the opportunity to make sure that they're visible, that every time they come to your stream, it is something that they see. And during the stream, if you want people to become part of your email marketing list or your database, avoid doing the hard sell for the product. You want them to hear your stream, and you don't want them to feel as if they're going to get the same thing if they become part of your email marketing list. You want them to feel as if they are going to be coming for good, solid information. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be selling, and that's probably not going to be the expectation of your customer. But what they don't want is for them to be pitched constantly. If you give them that indication during your stream, you're probably not going to be able to build your list in a way that you'll find that streaming is going to be worth the time. Give great content, help your viewers in every single stream if you want people to become part of your email marketing list. On the other hand, one of the things you're going to have to do, you're going to have that link available. It's going to be visible. Part of your job when it comes time for you to talk about the link is you do want to sell the opt-in. You want to talk about how people are going to benefit once they become part of your list. You want to tell your visitors what they can expect from being part of your community. Tell them what they're going to get on your newsletter. It should be something that you should make a real effort in getting them to be part of it. It should not be an afterthought, and it shouldn't sound like an afterthought in your list building. Now, during your stream, engage your viewers. When possible, call them by name. Engage your collaborators. Call them by name. Try to ask lots of questions. Make sure you're prepared for your stream. Make sure that you're understanding of the people who are around you. Look, streaming is not just about being able to do a live presentation. Streaming is really about the engagement and you're being able to connect with people. So use your stream in order to connect with people. Some of the customers and prospects that you'll see that will be viewing, they will like the fact that you are connecting with someone else and they will want to become part of your email marketing list just by seeing your interaction with other people. Encourage them to talk back to you. Encourage them to tell you about what it is that they really need from you. Encourage them to tell you what it is they need to learn, what it is they need to improve on, so that you can apply the solution based on the products and services that you have. And then, of course, once your stream is over, share your videos. And this is basically it's something that you should be doing without even thinking about. This should be something that should be automatic in your business. When those streaming videos are completed, you want to make sure that they go into places where they can be shared easily by other people who might find your content to be worthwhile for their following or for their friends or for their connections. So share your videos on social media, share them on your website, share them every place that you have other contacts. And remember, now you are going to be attracting people who have come to your stream and they've come and they've received good quality information. Make sure that your emails are going to be of the same quality. That does not mean that you cannot sell to people, but make sure that your emails are an extension of what people have already received in your streaming. So they know you, they know, and they've come to trust you. They found you likable, and so they opted into your list. You want to continue the relationship. Email should not be a separation of the relationship. It shouldn't be something that you're doing differently from who you are, or you shouldn't have to be someone different in your streams. Be the same person, give high quality information, but just continue that in your emails. And this is very important because you are going to get plenty of opportunities to sell. You are going to get plenty of opportunities to recommend products and services, and your customers and prospects will give you that opportunity if they can trust you. And if you're going to be two different people, one person in the stream, one person in the email, they're not going to trust you over time. So regardless of how you bring them onto your email marketing list, make sure you're the very same person. Make sure you're giving the very same level of quality. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about streaming for both networking and collaborations. And live streaming is basically an excellent way to meet other influencers in your niche. It gives you the opportunity to talk to people at the very minimum about streaming with you. And when you broadcast with other influencers, some of their influence becomes yours by default. This has been the case with famous personalities such as Oprah Winfrey, depending on where you live in the world, or someone like Larry King. These are people who have built their entire life on allowing influencers to become part of their lives and sharing that with other people. And you can use the very same concept in your business. Now, you can attend live events and niche events. And what this does is this reduces the randomness of some of your requests for collaboration. When you're at some place that your influencer or the person that you're looking to talk to, they're at an event and it's the very same thing that you are basically sharing an interest in, well, that means then that you're not just someone on social media asking them for an interview. You're not just someone asking them for their opinion. You are someone who has indicated that you're serious about the same things they are. Now, when you start looking for people to collaborate with, find those people or interview those people who have real results. Find those people who have real influence, so people listen to them. Find those people who have a real following. So in other words, you know that they have people who come to their events, who come to their streams, who are on their email list. Find people who already have demonstrated that they get people to follow them, because again, you want to be able to talk to people who are going to make it worth your while to have them in your stream. And one good indication of that are these are people who already have publications. They tend to have the kind of following. They tend to be the kind of people that will be good conversation for your stream. One thing that you can do to network with people is to host a summit on a particular topic or set of topics. You will then be bringing in expert panels. One of the best platforms to do that, of course, is Blab, to be able to bring in groups and to have expert discussions. Being able to do this series of streams and have this summit, again, excellent way of being able to leverage streaming so that you can then communicate real solid information to people who are watching. You want to leverage the following of the people that are being interviewed, of course, and you do that by asking them to make sure that they actually do everything they can to promote your stream, that they promote the stream they're going to be on, that they actually go through the trouble of making it available to the people that follow them after the stream. Leverage the following of the people who are being interviewed by you. And then, of course, collaborate across streams. In other words, collaborate with people or people who are inside of your platform. Collaborate with people who are in your niche. Collaborate with people who maybe are not on your platform. Maybe you're on Meerkat and they're on Periscope. Well, one of the ways you leverage that platform is you would bring them over to yours and you go over to theirs. So do everything you can to network with collaborators and use live streaming as a way for them to be able to see your audience and you to be able to see theirs. So with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to be discussing methods for live streaming events for building your business. Now, streaming live events is an interesting way of being able to claim authority in your niche. You're basically going to be attending some of the live events that are happening inside of your industry, and you're going to use them as leverage in your business. And streaming your attendance to your customers gives the appearance, and it gives your audience and the people who follow you and the people who watch you, it gives them the opportunity to see a behind the scenes perspective of what you're doing and what you're doing in the industry and what you're doing to become better in terms of delivering what it is that you deliver to them. Now, when you do this, make sure to let the organizer know that you're going to be asking attendees for interviews. And this is important because you don't want to just go to a conference and just start talking to people and interviewing them without talking to the conference organizer, because it may not be something that they want. But in many cases, when you talk to the organizer, they will actually help you and facilitate your being able to interview people. So make sure to let the organizer know what you're going to be doing and how you're going to be doing it. Now, when you're at live events, find out and interview attendees. In addition to speakers and influencers, most people will always find the speakers and the influencers and ask them for interviews and ask them for a discussion. Not too many people will ask for attendees, and this is important because you want to get a sense for the impact of the speaker. You can actually gauge how a conference is really affecting people, and you can have very good discussion with people who are not only are being influenced, but typically are from industries and from niches that are probably either on the edge or probably not exactly for that industry, but give an interesting perspective for your stream and for your viewers and for your followers. And obviously now you're not going to be able to schedule time effectively. You're going to have to catch these influencers when you can, and you're going to have to get the interviews when you can. So you want to make sure that you give the attendees the feel that your stream is a regular occurrence. So when you're at a conference, you want to make sure that people know you have something that is typically ongoing. This will make it so that people will feel a little more obligated to meet your schedule. Say, well, I typically do a show at 7 o'clock. I typically do a stream at 5:30. And I know that's between our sessions. People will feel a little more likely to maybe skip something that they were going to do otherwise to come and be part of your stream. So again, when you're reaching for influencers and you're reaching for people to become part of your stream, you do want to give them and make sure they know that this isn't just something that you are doing passively or it's a hobby. It's something that you're very serious about, and you show that seriousness by making available or making it so that they know that you do this on a regular basis and that they should become part of it on your schedule. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video. Welcome back to the conclusion and wrap up of growing your business using live streaming. Now, in conclusion, regardless of the application, you want to use live streaming in a way that allows you to build authority and trust with your customers, your prospects, and with other people in the industry. You want to use live streaming to build your reputation and following. And this is very important because this will help you not only to build and collaborate, but they'll also help you to become a better provider of products and services. Find out what your customers' objections are using live streaming by talking to people in real time, and in some cases, while they're using your product. Find out what your target market wants. And again, once again, in real time, allow them to interact with you, engage them, and allow them to tell you what it is they truly want in your niche, in your product, and in your service. Use live streaming to increase your sales by doing reviews, making sure that you tell people how they're going to benefit from something. Increase your reach through collaboration. So use live streaming in order to get influencers to become part of your stream. And again, you get the benefit of allowing their influence to rub off on you. Use live streaming to expand your circle of influence through interviewing. And so you get to influence other people. Not only that, you get to give your audience a broader sense of education, but you also give them a sense that, again, you are an authoritative figure in your niche. Expand your network by streaming live events. This is very important because, again, it gives you, just as you would through the interviews, it gives you that sense, again, that you are a player in your industry and that people ought to be buying from you. Grow your social network on the platform and on Twitter. So make sure that you learn how to use Twitter. Make sure you learn how to leverage Twitter, not only for your business, but so that you can leverage for the platform. Use them both to grow your platform and to grow your business. And then finally, use live streaming to grow your business with increased loyalty and familiarity. So by being in front of your people, by being in front of them and allowing them to see you, allowing them to hear you, hear your voice, and to see you demonstrate things, this will increase their loyalty to you and their familiarity with you, so that when you email them, when they contact you or you contact them, they actually know who they're dealing with. You are not a nameless, faceless person that they're doing business with, but you're someone that they feel like they know. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you either in another video or in another course.